Hello and good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I hope you are doing well. Today is day one of 3 looks of work from home makeup. I am starting by priming my eyes with my white eye base from P.Louise makeup. It has quickly become an absolute favorite and I use it every time I do my makeup now. Today I am going to be using the Haunted palette by Gourmande Girls and Doodle by the Bunny. And I am going to start with the shade Horrify. And I am going to put that on with a large fluffy brush and get the shape that I am looking for.
I've got sunshine, I've got you now.
And now I am going to tap into the shade Cursed, which is a lighter version of the previous shade, and I am just going to continue to blend out the shade Horrify. And now going into the matte black in the palette, which is called Troubled, I am going to start to deepen up the look, especially in the outer corner. And now priming my eyes for shimmers with some NYX glitter primer, and I'm going to put that on and then tap that out so it will be as crease free as I can get it. And first going into the shade Eerie, which is the very bright green shimmer in the palette. And for the inner part of the lid, I am going to go into the shade Unearthly, which is kind of a chartreusey kind of green, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Going into Troubled again, just to re-intensify the deepness in the outer corner. And now going into the shade So Haunted, which is the deeper orange, and I'm going to put that on the outer part of my lower lash line. And then taking the lighter orange, which is Obsessed, and putting that on the inner part of my lower lashes.
I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down.
And now with a small shader brush, I am going to take the shade Supernatural and put that right against my lower lashes and give that a blend with the orange.
It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is.
And tapping into the shade Spectral for my inner corner. This shade is stunning for an inner corner highlight, and I see myself probably reaching for it a lot in the future.
I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna fight.
For blush, I am going in with the Blend Bunny and Ellis Atlantis blush palette in Solar Flare. I will be using all three shades, lightest to darkest, and then blending them together with a semi-clean brush.
Like I do, like I do, like I do, like
And going into the Noctilucent palette for my highlight shade, I am going to use the shade Transient, which has a very nice green shift.
listen and relax. From here on, you don't have to say a word. So just let go and don't hold back. I've got you, welcome you into my world. I know that.
And this is the finished look. I really like how it turned out. I went a little vampy with the lip. I really like it, and I look forward to playing with this palette again. It's quite lovely.
I've got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty. Because there ain't nobody love you like I do.
And welcome back to day 2 of 3 days of work from home makeup. Once again, I am priming my eyes with my white eye base from P.Louise. And today I will be using the Gargoyle palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. I believe this is their newest palette at this point. I am going to start with the shade Midnight, which is that beautiful blue. And I am going to start by taking a shader brush and getting the shape I want and blending that out.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. I smooth like the ocean. I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you.
And now tapping into the shade Cathedral Shadows, which is the darkest matte in the palette, and I am going to run that through my outer corner and my crease, deepening this up, and I will also put it right up against my lower lashes.
It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
And now prepping my eyes for shimmers, I am going to use my NYX glitter primer, and I'm going to put that on with a brush and tap it with my fingers and hopefully get rid of all the creases.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like
For shimmers, I am going to start with the shade Night Watcher, and I am going to put that on the outer and inner part of my lid.
I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty. Because there ain't nobody love you like I do. Like I do. Like I do. Like I do.
Now picking up the shade Dismal Sky, and I'm going to put that in the center in between where I have Night Watcher.
Listen and relax. From here on, you don't have to say a word.
And going back into Cathedral Shadows, and I am just going to re-intensify that deepest shade in the crease, just so it didn't lose any of its impact.
Just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good.
And now going into the shade Eerie Echoes, which is a lovely light green. I am going to pick that up on a brush and spray it, and I'm going to use that in my inner corners. For blush, I will be using the Blend Bunny and Ellis Atlantis Lunar Eclipse palette. I will be using all 3 shades, lightest to darkest, and then blending them out with a semi-clean brush.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my call.
And going back into the Noctilucent palette for my highlight, I am using the shade Apparition, which has a blue shift.
You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. Eyes blue like the ocean. I can see you want this.
And this is the finished look. I absolutely love it. I am very partial to blue eyeshadow, so I'm probably biased, but I love it and can't wait to play with this palette more. I love the Unearthly formula, and it's exactly what I expected.
It's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
And welcome to day 3 of work from home makeup. Full disclosure, I am feeling very under the weather this week, so I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible for work. I am going to be using the All Done Up palette by Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I've had this palette for a hot minute and I've never used it, so I'm excited to jump into this. After priming my eyes with my white eye base from P.Louise, I am going to take the shade Unexpected, and I am just going to pack that on with a fluffy brush and blend as I go.
It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. 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 It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay.
And now going into the shade Features, I am going to use that to blend out Unexpected. At one point it does start to look a little darker. I think that is simply because I did not clean my brush well enough and it still had some of a darker shade in it. I'm not that worried about it, but I do believe that's what happened there.
So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty. Because there ain't nobody love you like I do. Like I do. Like I do. Like I do. Like I do.
And now going into the shade Doe-Eyed, which is the darkest shade in that column, and I am going to use that to deepen up the outer corner and into my crease. And prepping my eyes for shimmers with the NYX Glitter Primer. And I'm putting that on with a brush, and then I will tap that in with my finger to make sure it is as crease-free as possible. For my shimmers, I am using the Lightworks palette, the new one from Danessa Myricks. I don't know the exact shades. They're probably on the bottom of the pans. However, it was a pricey palette, and I'm paranoid that I am going to drop it if I try to start taking pans out. So I am not going to take them out of the pans to check right now, just because I don't want to drop the palette and potentially wreck anything. And going back into the shade Doe-Eyed, I am just going to use that to re-intensify where I had initially put it to make sure that depth is still there.
What it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling.
And now taking the shade Shine, I am going to give that a little spray after I put it on my brush, and I am going to use that in my inner corners.
Falling in love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. I feel like the ocean. I can see you want this too.
For blush, I am using the Blend Bunny and Ellis Atlantis palette in Solar Flare. I am using all three shades, lightest to darkest, and then blending them all together once they're all on my face.
Before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
For highlight, I will be going in with my Rare Beauty highlighter in Enlighten, and I'll put that on, and then I will wipe off what's on my brush and blend it out so it doesn't leave quite as harsh of a line.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling.
And this is the finished look. I also really like how this one turned out for it being so simple. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.
It won't